If you are an absolute alpha male like me, then your weekends are for crushing workouts, chugging protein drinks, and being a wheelin' dealin' son of a gun. Your weekends are absolutely not for mowing your lawn and then wasting even more time trimming your edges. But I may have found a machine that's gonna give you your time back. This engineering marvel is supposed to map your yard, cut your lawn, and even trim your edges. And it's got so much artificial intelligence, it makes Skynet look underpowered. Hey, don't judge me, John Connor. This right here is the GOAT A3000 LiDAR Pro. And if it works half as good as it claims, it's gonna give me my weekends back. The No Fate channel, checking in. Jonathan here with something straight out of the future. A Skynet automatic robot lawnmower that mows, trims, avoids your cats and dogs, and the occasional suicidal squirrel. We need to find out if this futuristic piece of lawn care wizardry can actually cut your lawn better than you can, and more importantly, give you back a little bit of that most precious resource, time. Now, full disclosure, like all of these lawnmower reviews you're gonna see on YouTube, I got mine for free. They wanted me to test it out. They know, at least they claim to know my channel, and when I get something for free, I really go hard in the paint so that you know I'm not just trying to point you to the affiliate links in the description. Now, I've had this lawnmower trimming and cutting, and I've been putting it to the paces for 3 weeks now. And as we speak, it's actually cutting my lawn outside, going through and making some seriously nice lines. But rather than go over a spec sheet and stuff that the company wants me to say, I'm just gonna give you my experience, and hopefully from my experience, you can translate to whether that's gonna be right for your specific lawn care situation and your specific price tag. So first and foremost, assembly of this thing was rather simple. I mean, it was literally like snap, click, 1, 2, 3 screws total, and you are done. You then have to, like all things technology based, you've got to download the app, update the software, and connect it to your Wi-Fi. Add yourself a pin so that no one steals this, which we will discuss. And then after all of that, you still can't cut your grass. You're really gonna dive deep into the app. It is straightforward and easy to use, but there's a lot of things that you can program that are gonna give you a better experience, such as the grass height. I think it can go all the way down to like 1.9 inches and all the way up to 3 inches in height. I do wish it went a little bit higher because there's like the hot August days where you wanna cut your grass and keep it even, keep it looking nice, but you don't want to burn it. But there your options are. You can also change your speed of how it cuts. Now, for me, I found the best setting to be the lowest setting. It's rather annoying to look at because it takes forever, but what do you care? It's automated. Whereas the fast setting doesn't give you as nice of a cut because the blades themselves are very small. Now, if you look at these blades, you're gonna ask yourself the same question I had. Can these actually cut my grass? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think they could, but they do. They go through grass very, very well. For however they're designed, they do a fantastic job, much better than I gave them credit for. I will say, they're gonna cut your grass better if you utilize a slower speed. You get to pick the speed of the lawnmower, and I would say stick with the slowest speed possible because it doesn't cost you any time. You're all doing everything from your phone. You don't have to sit by there and watch the lawnmower. So the fact that it's going slower doesn't really bother you or your experience, and it just gives you a better cut grass, smaller clippings, all that good stuff. You can also have it detect rain, and when it does, it will either stop mowing if it is mowing, or it won't start mowing if it was scheduled to mow. You can put times in there that the pets are out, so you don't want it to mow at all, and you can adjust the object sensitivity of what it's going to roll over, whether it's rocks or sticks, based on your personal settings. I did love the fact that I just don't have to cut my grass anymore. Just set it and forget it. And you can really dial in how the grass is cut with respect to not only the grass height, but the time. Whereas as a busy dad, I tend to just cut my grass on the shorter side so that I just don't have to do it that often. And when I've got my lawn tractor, I've got my lawnmower, it's pretty rough on the grass itself. Whereas this is a little bit lighter. It moves a lot slower because of the settings that I set up. So it's probably a lot less aggressive on the grass. And because I'm able to just cut it whenever I want, I'm able to cut the grass more frequently if that's something that I choose, and then maybe take a little bit less off the top. Some people have reported that the lawnmower was loud, but to be honest with you, when I was up close to it, I didn't think it was loud at all. It's kind of like rather annoying in terms of watching it because it goes so slowly and it makes so many micro adjustments that it's not really fun to watch, but it's not loud in the sense of like a gas-powered lawnmower is going to be, and you certainly don't need earmuffs if you're next to this thing. It's almost unnoticeable. And the truth is, from down here in my basement where I'm crushing workouts, can't hear it at all. Something that was both good and bad was the object detection feature, so that if a rolling ball comes in front of the lawnmower, it's supposed to stop, or if it sees a rock or a stick, it doesn't just go over them. And for the most part, it did catch most of them. Sometimes it would like go up and bump into it, but it wouldn't mow over it, whether that was a rock or whether that was like a ball. But there were times where it just didn't notice them. Now, maybe it was because it was too low and it knew that it was going to clear that obstacle when it ran over it, but I don't necessarily would know if I want it to decide on its own that it's okay to run over a stick and hope for the best. So let's quickly talk about the company. Thankfully, it's not some white label, no-name company. Ecovacs, they've been around for a while. They've made a number of these automatic lawnmowers as well as home vacuums and just a ton of different products that utilize AI and LiDAR technology to automate some of the functions that we just don't have the time to do ourselves. Now, as far as the warranty concerned, I saw something that said lifetime warranty inside the box. I'm going to put the warranty right up here so that you know what you're going to get yourself into. Now, speaking of get yourself into, I didn't have to pay for this, as I already mentioned, so pro to me, but for you buying this, your hard-earned money, it's gonna cost you like $18.50. I'll put the price point as of today up here. You've got coupon codes. My code's gonna be like NoFake247, something like that. I'll put that link in the description. Now, compared to like a walk-behind lawnmower that you could get at Home Depot or Lowe's, you're probably looking at like maybe $500 or $600 for those. So like 3 times that cost. Think about it. This little automatic lawnmower costs almost as much as a full tractor, as like a sit-down lawn tractor would. So it's rather expensive, I'm not gonna lie. A couple concerns I had before utilizing the GOAT was, number one, the string trimmer. If you've ever had to change out trimming line on your weed whacker, you know it's a hassle. What's nice about the GOAT is that they not only provide you with an extra one, but they also give you the opportunity to just simply buy them as needed. So you just basically plug and play. Let's talk about a couple of interesting features. Number one is the PIN code. You've got an anti-theft system. So you have to leave this essentially outside, and then you've got to leave it plugged in. And as you can imagine, an $1,800 price tag robot is something people may want to steal. Now, they're probably too dumb to realize that when they steal it, they're still not going to be able to use it because it's going to have your PIN on that, and they would have to guess your PIN. As long as you don't do what I do and use 1111 or like 123, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to guess your PIN. That doesn't mean they won't steal it anyway because people are just dumb and horrible, but that does mean that at least they won't have the ability to actually get any function out of it or even resell it. In order for you to resell this or to give it to someone else as a gift after you've used it, you basically have to remove the information from the app and basically remove your lawnmower from the app and disconnect it so that someone else can then go forward and register it. Now, does this work as advertised? It makes some grandiose claims. And the truth is, yes, it cuts your grass very well. It's automated. It's very, very hands-off. The trimming feature is nice, especially if you don't like to weed whack like me. And it does everything it says it's going to do, but there is a catch. You really need to have a really well, like bullseyed yard. As an example, you don't want a small yard because then, quite frankly, it's just not worth it. But you can't have more than like 3/4 of an acre because then the machine can't handle it. Also, you've got to understand it has like a limited battery, although I found the battery to be fine to cut my home yard, which is 3/4 of an acre. But there were sections that I did have to mark off that it can't go because the slope is greater than 20 degrees. So if you've got some janky yard like I kind of do, where you've got rocks and sticks and random trees and flower gardens and drop-offs, it's probably going to be on the more difficult side. If you've got a perfectly square lawn, this thing's going to work like a dream. The end of the day, how well this works is largely proportional to how well you are able to map your yard. So you really want to take your time to map your yard correctly. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts on this GOAT A3000 LiDAR Pro. And it does everything it says it does. Believe it or not, it does everything it says it does, as long as your yard is going to be in that Venn diagram of being flat enough and not too small, not too large, and all that good stuff. Now, my yard probably is outside of that Venn diagram. It's too large, it's got rocks, it's got sticks, it's got kids' toys everywhere, and it's got some steep slope in the back. So even with that said, it did do a great job cutting my front yard. I do have some reservations, okay? Obviously, it does work. The blades on that thing are like razor blades. They are so small, especially compared to like my normal lawnmower blade is just this big, huge bar of sharpened metal. So I do wonder how well those blades are gonna hold up. They do have, ironically, the AI system tells you how many hours of life you have left on the blades. Speaking of time, will this save you time? And the answer is eventually. You're gonna take a couple of hours to set this up from day one. So before you even have your grass cut, you're setting this up, spending a couple of hours, and then you're probably gonna have to spend a few more hours watching the thing and figuring out certain sections. And I did have a couple of areas where, in order to avoid trees, it just left sections that needed to be trimmed anyway. So that was a bit of a bummer, and that's again speaks to the space that I have in terms of my yard. But as you can imagine, it's going around a tree trying to avoid the tree, but the tree's not perfect, it's not mulched. There's gonna be like grass near the tree that it just doesn't get, that eventually, if it grows high enough, you're gonna have to get it. At the end of the day, if you love your toys, if you love your AI robots, this is a fun one that does work, and it can eventually save you some time. I think for most of us normal alpha males, you're probably not there yet, meaning you're just not gonna warrant that $1,800 price tag in order to get a decent lawn cut, but then probably have to go over certain sections yourself because it just can't. Like, I gotta go back to my steep hill section and I gotta do that myself. I gotta go around my trees on certain sections that it misses. I mean, it does a good job, but it doesn't do a great job. And for $1,800, man, it probably should do a great job. So is it worth your hard-earned money? I think the ecovacs A3000 LiDAR Pro is a great piece of lawn care for those of you that love your futuristic technology, and for those of you that have that correct yard in terms of size, in terms of obstacles, in terms of angle and slope. For some of you, it's gonna be boom, bullseye right in your wheelhouse. For the majority of you, unfortunately, I just don't think it's there yet. It's just gonna be a bit more hassle than you realize because it's gonna finish cutting and you're gonna have to go out and do a couple of touch-up spots, which kind of defeats the purpose, especially at that $1,800 price tag. Now, if you're looking for more honest reviews, whether I love a product or hate a product, I just give honest reviews. If you wanna see more, boom, the YouTube algorithm knows these are the ones that you are going to want to watch next. It's seen your YouTube history, believe it or not, and it says these are the ones. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.